The biggest problem in the church has always been and will always will be not that we don't get something in addition to the gospel, but that we as Christians don't really understand the gospel. We think that it's just this gospel presentation, you believe, you accept Jesus, and then you get on to other things in Christianity. And all Christianity is working the gospel into every area of your life. One of the reasons to do a spiritual growth campaign is not only that it brings an enormous amount of unity to the church and focus and direction, but it also causes everybody to get more out of what we're all studying together. Because everybody you pass in the hallway, everybody you talk to, everybody at the services, everybody in every ABF, every parent who's coming to drop off their kids for something, are all studying the same thing that same week. And the effect of that study on us, if the content is good, is exponentially more than if we're just kind of all going through a few different things at once. The reason why the elders and I picked the book Gospel Life by Tim Keller is because study can simultaneously be amazingly great for a family coming back or somebody coming back to church after a decade off, and somebody who's been studying the gospel and the Bible for 40 years has the potential to press the gospel into somewhere it's never been for whoever's in the study. There's sections in the book on the gospel in our work, the gospel in our life in the city that we live in, the gospel as not being either irreligion or religion, but something totally different, where we live out of gratitude rather than out of pride or fear. There's all these different facets of the gospel that the book explores, and for each one, I think each of us are going to be able to drive it a little bit deeper, or drive it into that sector of our life where it's never been before, which is really important. What we're going to ask everybody in the whole church to be involved in is 4 things over the course of the spiritual campaign. The first thing is we're going to ask everybody to come to the worship service every single week, to be in church 8 times in 2 months. The second thing is we're going to ask everybody to buy the book and read it together. The third is we're going to ask everybody to be in an 8-week short-term small group, which includes a short DVD curriculum, about a 12-minute video, and then extended time for discussion on the material in the book that you've read. And then the last thing is we're going to ask everybody in the church to be involved in a one-day, one-shot, citywide service project that we'll be putting together and organizing between now and then.
Getting involved in a small group is going to be a vital part of it. There's curriculum specifically for it, there's a DVD, and so what we're hoping to happen is to put people in groups of 10 to 12, maybe 6 couples. Well, each one will have a leader, each one will have a host, because we're hoping that most of them are going to be in homes. And so for this 8 weeks, it's going to be a small group that focuses on the gospel and life. So how does the current ministry leader get involved in this? Well, we don't want anyone to feel like they're being displaced. We certainly don't want anybody to feel like they have to stop doing ministry. But what we want to have happen is for everything that happens in this church to be focused on the gospel and life. So no matter what your ministry is, we're going to ask that you focus on this campaign with this. You're going to ask that you focus on the curriculum that we've got. We're going to ask to help people get into small groups, to go to church every Sunday, to do the service project, to read the book. So whatever your ministry is, we're going to hope that it feels like another piece of the gospel and life. The worst thing would be if your ministry feels like it's something totally different.
There's this old saying about leaders that one person is an idiot, one person followed by other people is a leader. The fact is that any great idea needs a bunch of people to say, I'm going to get involved with that idea. I'm going to follow that person. So the ministry leaders getting involved is the first wave of momentum for a campaign like this that is enormously reliant on momentum. A spiritual growth campaign is the kind of thing where if everybody kind of energizes around it and does it wholeheartedly together, it is hard to underestimate how powerful an effect it can have on a community of Christians. But it's also the kind of thing that if the ministry leaders and the people who are the real opinion formers and disseminators in the church don't passionately get involved and show unity with the elders and the pastoral leadership of the church, it really doesn't go anywhere. So ultimately, the ministry leaders will make or break us in terms of whether or not this becomes the next greatest thing we've done as a community together that launches us into the next couple of years centered around the gospel that we've never have been before, or whether it's something that we just sort of do and that's just sort of it. It was a nice little series.
Hope is that everybody gets involved in it, that all of the ministries here at the church embrace this, and that it feels like all together for 8 weeks, everything at High Point Church is about gospel and life. We think that through that, God is going to bless us.
What I need is for you guys to decide that this is what we're going to do. We're going to get together to embrace it passionately, to encourage other people to be involved in it, and to be part of us all having the kind of unity it takes for us to benefit the maximum possible amount, both individually and as a group.